Well, 1959, I guess it's just me and you and the rest of the YouTube world. I'm Cody, we're Big Beaver Comics. We have checked out a couple of the previous years in the Silver Age of comic books. Today we're checking out 1959, all the key issues, all the books that shaped the industry we all love so much. It is going to be a trip down memory lane. We do not see near the amount of Atlas comics or what would become Marvel comics as you would assume you would, given how many we're going to see in the coming years. But like usual, DC holds the fort down with an innumerable amount of hits. So let's take a look at 1959. If you're enjoying this series, please go back, check out, like I said, 56, 57, 58, we've already done. We're going to do a bunch of years into the future. They are going to branch off into much smaller, more niche videos because as Marvel really gets rolling in the mid-60s, it becomes a monstrosity of big books. So we will probably branch off into Marvel, DC, and other imprints. But for now, all the imprints in one, 1959. Tales to Astonish, #1, January of 59. Story by the classic Stan Lee. Art by legendary Steve Ditko. Jack King Kirby. Publisher is Atlas Comics. We're not going to see them much through this list. A lot of what I've noticed doing my 1959 research was there isn't a whole lot of covers that really jump off the page. I know in previous years we've covered, no pun intended, there have been some amazing cover art that not only is the book an amazing book, big origin story, something corresponding with that art, but the art stands in and of itself. This year, while Tales to Astonish 1 is a big book, the art on the cover leaves a bit to be desired. Giant Stegosaurus coming through the door. Tales to Astonish, numero dos, March 1959. Cover art again by the legendary Steve Ditko. And this is not taken away from Ditko. They're just, for some reason, 1959, because you'll see it in DC as well. Just not a lot of captivating art on the covers, not sure. Again, a couple years post-Comic Code, infused into the comic world. We now see superheroes everywhere. I guess maybe we're just transitioning, even though we have seen some really good art in the years previous to this. Tales to Astonish, like I said, #2. This guy's fighting off a Martian invader. Doesn't sound like a job for me. Sounds like a fool's errand. We'll let this dude handle that. Publisher Atlas Comics. We don't see them again on the list. Archie's Madhouse, #1, because all the Archie #1s, even though there's a lot of Archie lines, all the #1s are going to hold some value, especially in a high grade. This one from 1959, Archie's iconic. Nobody's out there slaying the kind of pie and making it look so innocent. Like everybody loves Arch. They love him. He's just got chicks hanging off him. We know what Archie's up to. If you take a step back and look, this guy, come on, we love Archie. We love Archie. Archie, get your Mac on, son. Get away with it if you can. Archie's Madhouse, #1 from September. Moving along, Dell Publishing and 4-Color, which is the worst numbered comic book series in the history of comic books. 4-Color number 990, my ass, but we're saying that it is May of 1959. The reason this is important, and classic cartoons, the Hanna-Barbera guys, the Disney stuff, it's all major stuff. So anytime we get a first appearance of them inside of some printed media like a comic book, it's a big deal. This is your first Yogi Bear and Huckleberry Hound in comic books. 4-Color, you really should have got your numbering in order, though. I don't know why the Dell Publishing guys that were doing this made 4-Color such wacky numbering. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but this is still a major book from 1959, and we're in to the mothership. The guys leading the charge, the apex of the comic industry, post-Comic Book Code Authority. These guys, the DC imprint, led the way. They had all the characters, brought back a bunch of Golden Age classics. Superheroes were that was their wheelhouse, and they finessed in that wheelhouse quite well, and you can see it here as they dominate the list. Blackhawk, first appearance of Lady Blackhawk. This is issue 133 from February of 1959. Again, fairly tepid cover art, unfortunately. Don't have a lot to give you, but first Lady Blackhawk, that's something. Army at War, #83, June of 1959. first appearance of a major character a couple of generations past in the DC roster. That character, of course, is Sergeant Rock. This is a much nicer cover as far as I'm concerned. You can see him here fighting on in. You're in the battalion, inside the actual machinery, Gatling guns going, plane is coming down on him here. Sergeant Rock is a very classic character. Good stuff to see. Brave and the Bold, number 25, August, September 1959. Origin and the first appearance of the Schmooshmide Squad. You're going to have to read that on the screen because I won't be saying that word here on YouTube. Publisher, DC Comics. Big green ghouly hand monster, claw monster coming after the people. I don't think old pea shooter McGee here in the front. The guy looks like the postman. I don't think he's really going to be fending off this giant claw that's ripping out of the earth. But good luck to you. I would suggest to the dame in front to just keep trucking. I don't think old Wayland's going to be able to handle it there. Moving along, Flash 105, February and March 59, first Silver Age Flash solo series. This numbering, because it's 105, obviously continued from the Golden Age, from the original series. They stopped at 104. They figured, hey, we're going to jump right back on the bike here at 105. So instead of it being 1, that's why it's like that. Origin and first appearance of the Mirror Master, who, as you can see by the cover, is a guy in the mirror. So if you don't like looking at that guy in your mirror and you live in a world of mirrors, which I doubt the Flash does, this guy looks like he could be minorly intrusive until you narrow down which one isn't the guy in the mirror and is just the actual guy, and you just punch him right in the nuts. That's probably what the Flash is going to do. That's what I'd do. Flash number 106, May 1959. Origin and first appearances of Gorilla Grodd. Major first appearance of a bad guy in the DC universe, and the Pied Piper in this one. Gorilla Grodd, need we say more? Be nice to have Gorilla Grodd on the cover. Got the Pied Piper, obviously. Beautiful Flash cover. Flash looking great in that Barry Allen costume. Would have liked the Gorilla Grodd, didn't get it. Beggars can't be choosers. You can't have everything. Still a major book in 1959. Flash 110, December of 59. Origin and first appearance of our boy Wally West. Kid Flash. Wally West obviously is going to play a pivotal role throughout DC. I mean, through how many major storylines is Wally West a part of? If we're talking about even some of like the major entire DC universe crossover events, Wally West plays pivotal parts in a lot of those. So first appearance of him, major book, kind of an all right cover. Nothing really to write home about, but it's the contents and the provenance of the book. That's what matters. Flash 110 definitely has that. We're going to get into some nice covers now, because Batman covers can't not be nice. That seems to be a default, sort of a prerequisite of Batman comics. Batman 121, February 1959. Origin and first appearance of Mr. Zero. Now, we all know, first and foremost, that this is Mr. Freeze. Is going to become Mr. Freeze, but originally Mr. Zero, I guess he didn't like kind of the direct tie-in or the connotation that he was a loser, even though he definitely doesn't look like a loser. I like this pre-Mr. Freeze outfit that he's wearing here. I like the color scheme. Obviously, classic Batman, classic Robin, giant ice cubes, which I like a cold drink as much as the next guy, even if you get a little bat wing in it. What are you going to do? Just drink around it? Classic Batman cover. No complaints. Batman 122, March of 59. I only put this in here because it's a classic Batman cover, because there's all that color and there's all that Batman. And if you saw that in a comic store and the price was right, you couldn't tell me with a straight face, if you're a comic collector, that you wouldn't just buy this because it's not just classic Batman. Because you would, and I would too, and I want it. So there you go. Wonder Woman 105, April 1959. Origin of Wonder Woman. I was kind of surprised they hadn't done the origin of Wonder Woman before this. Interesting cover. I don't know if you can see it. If you're looking too close, maybe it gets lost in translation, but back out a little bit and realize there's a giant bird in space that has Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman's ship in his beak. And I don't have who did the cover here, but I would imagine that in 1959 he was enjoying himself while he was doing this cover. I don't want to say anything too salacious about the lifestyle of the artist at DC Comics in 1959, but Homeboy was probably blitzed, and good on him, because it makes for a hell of an interesting cover to look at. Adventure Comics 260, May 1959, origin of your Silver Age Aquaman. There was a Golden Age Aquaman. We all we turned our backs on him and said, "Foo to you, you're goofy. We don't want any more of you." Silver Age Aquaman with his kufa hair and his tight buns of steel and his scaly yet manly demeanor strolled onto the DC Universe set and stole our hearts. And it's exactly what we've all been bought into since then. Jason Momoa obviously playing a rendition of this Silver Age Aquaman, still in the movies today. This is the origin story of the man. That's a pretty tepid ass cover. I don't know if I would as a kid, if I was a kid in 1959, which I wasn't, but if I was, I'm not sure this cover would have jumped off the pages at me, but I would never, my friends, turn my nose up at a good Aquaman story. So there's that. Origin of Silver Age Aquaman. Adventure Comics 267, December of 59, second appearance of the Legion of Superheroes. All right cover. You got Superman in some sort of a kryptonite prison. Where does everybody find all this kryptonite? Like, I understand that we've wrote ourselves into a corner, DC. Look, okay, Superman is better than everyone. He's better than you, he's better than me, he's better than all of us combined. And we've now boxed us into this corner where we don't really have an ability to give Superman adequate adversaries, because he's an absolute juggernaut. He just bludgeons everybody in his way, and he does it with a smile and with some morality and integrity. But because of that, we started to just make it so every Tom, Dick, and Harry stroll in the backwoods of Metropolis was finding kryptonite just falling out of everywhere, and they're making all sorts of, in this case, entire prison cells, it looks like, out of kryptonite, and I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. I feel like you've done this to yourself. You just let Superman off the leash. Let him go. Let him go. Maybe don't write 4 books with Superman in them every month, so that you're not trying to come up with all these interesting ways to keep Superman busy, given the fact that unless you build a kryptonite prison, Superman's a difficult guy to pin down. Just my 2 cents. Detective Comics 267, May 1959, origin and first appearance of Batmite. And as far as I know, and as far as the market tells me, this book, fairly important book. I know Batman has a lot of little spin-off stuff, so does Superman. There's dogs and mites and cars and bikes, and everybody's got gadgets and gizmos and doodads and whatsies, and I mean, you gotta love it. I like it. And he's got a cool costume because he's got the sweet Batman costume, but for me, the gimmicks are a little gimmicky. I'm always good with just Batman and Robin. I don't find that gimmicky at all. I don't find these colors gimmicky. I know a lot of people, maybe nowadays, modern fans, look at these colors, little gimmicky. To me, not so much. Batmite, I look at in a vacuum. He's from an era where this totally is the way comics were written, and rock and roll, man. Personally, I'm into it. It wouldn't be something that today I would consider to be hip, but if you removed the Mite character from this and just had that Batman and Robin in those sweet costumes, buddy, would you have a customer in me still. No questions asked. Action Comics 252, May of 59, origin, first appearance, Supergirl, and Metallo. Those are some major first appearances and origin stories. This might be the biggest book we've seen in 59. Nice cover. You get Supes, who again is just waiting for somebody to stumble upon some kryptonite thing that he can be placed in, because that's the only thing. But that's beside the point. Supergirl and Metallo, major first appearance and origin stories in Action Comics 252, and a cover decent enough with a sweet car smashed. Or is that a rocket ship? I guess that's kind of a rocket ship. Looks like it's just a really fast bullet car, but rocket ship right into the earth. dope stuff. Action Comics 254, July of 59. First appearance of adult Bizarro. We did see Bizarro make an actual first appearance in, I think it was 58, in a Superboy book, but retroactively, I guess they kind of considered, because Superboy's young and that Bizarro was kind of young, that was like a younger Bizarro and not full-fledged Bizarro that we all think of. So this is considered the adult appearance, first appearance of Bizarro, who is a major character in Superman lore, in the DC universe, and in just villains in fiction in general. Bizarro has inspired a multitude of spin-off ideas throughout DC's years since this came out, and obviously to have him on the cover here is just a cherry on top of what is a wicked first appearance. You'll love to see that in all his glory. What does he have? My man Bizarro has also stumbled upon some kryptonite. Showcase. We haven't seen this series at all in these countdown lists, have we? Showcase. Number 18, January, February 59, second appearance of Adam Strange. I'm looking at it, and yeah, strange. Pretty strange. Moving right along. Showcase 22, October 1959, major book. All right, pare it back. First appearance of adult Bizarro. That's good. I like that. First Supergirl and Metallo. I like that. Those are good. I got it. Origin and first appearance of Silver Age, Hal Jordan Green Lantern. Green Lantern. Remember those old like 50 Cent and G Unit? All the mixtapes? DJ Green Lantern. Yeah, anyways, carrying right on. Hal Jordan is Green Lantern, first appearance. This book is huge. I've never owned this myself, but one day I'll get one of you. Showcase 23, December of 59, second appearance of Silver Age Green Lantern. Still just good stuff. I mean, it's not the first appearance because that cover is so iconic, but it's good enough. He's fighting the Invisible Destroyer in here, as you do in all your second appearances, but it's that first appearance from Showcase 22 that we're really talking about. I'm Cody. If you guys like wrestling documentaries, man, we do some of the best damn wrestling documentaries in the world. You should go over to our YouTube channel, Carny, that's C-A-R-N-Y, and check out our wrestling documentaries. And if you really like comic books, and I'm telling you, you're this far in this video, you definitely do, BigBeaverComics.com. That's the place that you want to end up. I'm Cody from Big Beaver Comics. I thank you for joining us for this look at 1959. You do the same thing that I'm going to do, which is stay cool.